Welcome to Rangers Daft. It's your weekly look from Football Daft at the Teddy Bears. I am producer John, and let's welcome the Blues Brothers, Stephen Purden, Grado, Graham, Steve Lee. How are we, boys?
Brilliant.
Top of the league.
Top of the league. Great.
So
Now, we've got to, before we go into the podcast this week, Stephen, you were at some sort of property convention. You watched the game though. Grado, you were at Transmit and you missed the game, so you've only seen the highlights.
I didn't even see the highlights. I've
You've
just
not seen the highlights,
goals.
no? Right,
Seen the goals.
Brilliant. It's a really insightful look into Rangers on this week's podcast.
Bob's watched it back. He can tell me all about it.
Watched it.
You watched do you watch full game?
Mate, he watches like Rangers like friendlies and all that through the
Can
summer.
you
and
do that? I can't do that when you type a game. I know you, Stephen. I do. I mean, the devotion to the JRs is unbelievable. But I can't do that when you record a full game.
I just can't use our shit.
Can you even watch? Can you even watch Falkirk games back?
No, you can watch the highlights on YouTube, and that's about it.
I mean, guys on there like that.
With a Motorola Razor.
That's pretty much it. Oh, fucking, we got beat off Al at the fucking weekend, and Connor fucking Salmon scored against
Barry.
Oh, that's right.
Barry Ferguson.
I saw that actually.
Gutted.
I can't believe Connor Salmon plays for Alloa.
Who's that? Connor Salmon, aye?
He won me £650.
Did he?
Aye, first Celtic Kelly 1-1-0 goal scorer Salmon. 65 to 1 it was. I put a tenner on it.
Oh,
brilliant.
Mate,
so I'll never forget that.
Mate, I thought you said they tapped you for £650. Imagine that walking about, man, fucking talking to Big Bob Malcolm and who was saying Connor Salmon. Hey, Bob, he owes me £650.
Brilliant.
So if you folk out there owe me money, the Connor Salmon's no one of them.
No guest pundit on this week, but we'll crack on as ever and go back to look at the St Johnstone game there at the weekend. 2-1 to Rangers. Roof and Tavernier. I keep wanting to say Tavernier. I don't know why. It's Stephen that's got me into saying Tavernier.
I don't get it. I did. I was bad for it. I was really bad for it.
James Tavernier. Let's go into the game. We'll obviously come to you first, Stephen, because Grado's not seen anything from this game. What do you make it, mate?
Very, very, very poor first half. We need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's becoming a bit tedious how slow we're starting games and letting teams into it. When really, when you look at St Johnstone, they've just sold two of their best players, right? It's still a hard game going there. They're a good team. They rough it up, but you know what you're going to expect there. But it was just all dead passive again. But second half, I think obviously we didn't start the second half that well. O'Halloran gets a goal, but that kind of gives us a shot in the arm and we lift it a wee bit, where it's the usual. Grado, you've not seen the game, but you could write this script.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, I can see the first half being played out in my head. I know exactly what happened, but it's got me thinking. But right, see, would you take that? But every game,
aye, it was like the kind of maybe when you could just touch the title last year, but we weren't quite there. We were just winning games 1-0 a lot, and you're going, I'll take it. Yeah, I will take it. I mean, I don't care how we win games as long as we win them, and it was a very, very beautiful way to win it, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, John. The goal, but sorry, mate, on you go.
No, it's just funny, but because I remember, obviously I was at Transmit and I'm walking along and I'm refreshing, but see, because I kind of stopped following it by half time, but see how when I looked and it was 1-1, I thought we're still going to win this game. Like I wasn't doing that whole refreshing every 2 seconds, like on, and then once we did get the goal, I was settled. I don't know, maybe that's just because I wasn't watching the game and I felt like that, but
mate, that's probably a good feeling. That's where we are now. It's kind of, we are champions. We've got that kind of, you can see the mentality's there. And I know what you mean, mate. It was kind of, mate, you know what I'm like? I'm fucking a bit high on the Rangers, man. I was sitting at that hang. I was at fucking checking the phone. Clint's talking to me and I'm like, I know, mate. Fucking shut up, man. I had this guy, fucking, I'm pretty sure he won't be listening because he told me his full life story, how he was a Rangers fan, but he gave up his season ticket. He gave that guy his telly for nothing on Gumtree. He done this, he done that. And I'm sitting going, mate, what do you do with your life now? What do you do for enjoyment? It is. So he was actually doing my nut in at one point because it was 1 each. And then I seen we'd go to the penalty. And I flung my Sky goal on. seen we scored the penalty, and then he kept talking to me for like the last 10 minutes, and I'm calling me quite shut up.
Brilliant.
So he's telling on Gumtree. So that's how he kind of watch the football. Did he know to replace it now?
He's like, I used to go to the games now, but I just fell away from it now, and I'm trying to just kind of focus on what I'm doing in life. And I gave my telly away for nothing on Gumtree as well, and just too much distractions. I've not got the same pals I used to have anymore. So I don't go to the games anymore. I don't watch the telly, and I don't really do anything. But I'm just to be focused, you know. I'm like, mate, stop talking to me.
Brilliant. So I want to come back to something you said earlier on. We'll come back to that later, Stephen, about just Rangers and you know how they've not got going. But interesting. Well, I guess not interesting team selection. John McLaughlin in from the start, thought was an interesting one. Goldson obviously missing because of COVID. I mean, the Terminator. How many? It was the first game he's missed in about
since August 2018.
Mental. And Barisic on the bench as well. Do you think Bassey's number one choice of left back?
No, I think you'll see Barisic will probably play
the European game.
I don't really know, mate. I don't know what, if Grado was got to say something, like, you know, something about McGregor or something. Have you got to say something, mate, about McGregor?
I mean, it was like the goals, right? But it was like compressed into like a 4-minute thing on YouTube, right? It wasn't like the official highlights, but they were showing like some kind of bits where McLaughlin's out his box and fouling folk.
He get booked after 10 minutes.
So did he look a bit? Did he look a bit nervous Saturday?
I think it was after they get that book in early bells, man. He never really settled.
Yeah, I mean, could he have got a red for that, Stephen? Were you worried when he came out like that?
Well, no, because I knew he didn't get sent off because I watched it later on. So I can't. No, I know. John, I'll be honest. You've seen them given.
Aye.
If I'm watching that live, my heart's in my mouth. I'm shaking myself a wee bit. But I don't think he really recovered for that. I wouldn't say he had a bad game. I think he just didn't look.
It didn't have much to do, to be fair.
He didn't. And see that's the thing, right? See us at the minute, we're still not firing on all cylinders. But see, really, teams they're getting a goal against us, which they weren't getting last season. But keepers aren't having much to do. And goals for us, you know. I just want us to lift it, and I think we'll just get back to that way of scouting teams again. Do you know what I mean? I think we will.
What was the crack with McGregor? But was it just a matter of just rotation?
So I've heard, mate.
Is he maybe just still recovering from the COVID, or?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know. He didn't really say too much about it.
Yeah.
Do you think he's? Do you think it's today we're getting him? Obviously, because this could be McGregor's last year. I don't know. We're saying that.
Phase him out.
I don't know. Do you think it is? And he's got his eye McLaughlin just to kind of play him more games. I don't know. It's interesting, but
it could be, man. I don't like it though, man. I don't like the chopping and changing. I
don't like the chopping and changing, but I never get feared when McLaughlin's in goals. If I'm honest,
I know.
Gerrard's never went through games where it's been the same team. He always likes a wee chop and change and rotate the squad, doesn't he? I mean, you very rarely see the same team run out twice.
But I know that he does, but that gives me the fear sometimes just because of what happened at Love Street last year. Well, Love Street St Park last year. He kind of chopped and changed it. And it was funny watching that documentary back there, by the way, that relentless documentary, Bob, was amazing.
It's good.
Somebody spoiled it for me, or at least said that it was just...
Was it the spoiler that he's won the title, Grado?
No, but he just told me that it was like replays of the games. No, but it was brilliant, or the kind of backstage interviews, or the kind of talking heads.
Backstage interviews, it's not the wrestling, Grado.
Although Bob, it should have been me and you as well. Get involved in any talking heads, mate.
Honestly, right, I'm not bigging me and Grado up, right, but I'm going, right, because see the people that are getting on ahead of us. I mean, right, I've paid my season ticket since I was fucking 19. I played the Rangers lottery, right? I've got my Rangers TV. I used to sit in bar 72.
You played on the park, Stephen. You played on the park.
You see this guy? Not against. Is his name Martin Ramsey?
Who's Martin Ramsey?
Exactly, John. Exactly. Who's Martin Ramsey? Right? He spoke very well, right? But give me and Grado a shot.
If anyone is listening to this show, please tweet Rangers saying, give Stephen and Grado a shot. That is exactly. Tweet Rangers, give Grado and Stephen a shot.
I genuinely think, see if me and Grado were on that, and I would say me also Grado, see talking about us winning the title, I think you'd have seen a powerful, emotional performance for the big man, Steve Lee. I think he'd have started great.
He didn't even watch the game at the weekend.
Aye, but
He was working, John. He was working.
Sorry, he was working.
He wasn't just at clans, mate. He was on duty.
Listen, mate, I was interviewing what do you call him? The man comes
Nathan Evans.
singing songs, ding ding. But by the way, it was funny about because he came up to me, he was like, good result for Rangers, just made it today. Brilliant, that was funny. And then the next one was the boy for Twin Atlantic. He was like, all right, big man, good result today. We managed to get 3 points today. That's what everybody kept saying. That's what everybody kept saying to Transmit.
Stevie Jukes?
No, I never saw him, mate.
You see Stevie? No, I did. Aye, so let's get back into the game. Grado, you said there was no fears when you went 1-0 down. Stephen, you obviously were keeping tracks of the game, so when you watched it back, there was no fears either. But when you saw it being refreshing, Sky, did you have any fears? Grado didn't have any fears. Did you have any fears when you went 1-0 down?
I thought, John, I've got the fear 24/7.
I know you do.
I've got the fear 24/7. I had the fear every game, as you know, last season. I'm always, and my favourite expression, Grado will tell you, in every eyes. I'm always like that when it comes to Rangers. If you are all listening again, I love you so much. I love Rangers so much. I love them. They are a big part of my life. And of course, I've got the fear when we go a goal down, especially when it's my neighbour stays on the corner, Michael O'Halloran, who scores the fucking goal. Know what I mean? I was going to go down to his house and probably get my James Blunt kicked in because he would probably learn on me, but I was still fucking, know what I mean?
I could just keep John Keano, just imagine him watching the football right with his big telly up in the wall and him like jumping up to it, like pure jumping up to it and all that, like fucking fucking throwing his flip flops at the telly and all that.
I can totally.
And his New York Yankee hat.
So your neighbour Michael O'Halloran obviously had a very good game for St Johnstone. What I noticed, Stephen, and again, we'll talk about it a bit later on as well, Hollander's injury, but it seems to be that St Johnstone tried to get balls down the side into O'Halloran and take him just with the pace, and it did really show for me Hollander and Balogun at the back just in terms of pace, and Goldson surprisingly has a good turn of pace, you know.
Mate, the goal, the way St Johnstone get the goal, they've been trying the ball, they've been dying to get that ball all game. They're trying it all game. They're trying it right. I think it wasn't. I was quite surprised it wasn't Hollander's greatest game, right? I think with Goldson not being there, maybe ruffled Hollander's feathers a wee bit, if you know what I mean. Because I think he is usually very good positionally. He doesn't get caught out with balls going in behind, or he doesn't get caught out with a pacey player because his positional sense is very good usually. But he seemed a wee bit lacklustre. I don't know, he was getting ragdolled about a wee bit here, there and everywhere, but he's got Balogun next to him. How many times have they two played the centre-half together? Zero. I would say zero. Maybe, I don't know.
They must have played together at some point.
I'm trying to think.
Is Goldson missed? I don't know, mate.
Well, maybe not. I don't.
They never missed a game last season. They never missed. So I can't think when they were them together.
Who played the St Mirren game? I know Hollander did, but I'm sure Goldson played centre half for him.
The boy
because Goldson scored.
He did. So he did. He scored it away.
The boy, it was. Remember, we had the boy on Football Daft a couple of weeks ago who took the pizza to Goldson after the Old Firm. He was getting the blame for Goldson not making it on Saturday there.
Food poisoning.
Aye.
No, but I think Hollander, as we'll talk about, I'm sure his injury and all that, but it was, like I said, St Johnstone carrying that ball. Hollander gets stretched or Daft, mate. I don't know when we're going to see him again.
I don't even know that, man.
We'll get into that when we get to the news. Definite penalty.
Yes, aye. Michael fucking Stewart again, man. Honestly, what is this guy's problem with us? I'm not on it. Like, it's a stonewall penalty. He takes his leg away, man.
In fairness, he did say it was a penalty. He did say it was a penalty.
Mate, come on, he's don't get me started.
So, Roof on the pens now. Is that the first time Roof's taken the pens, or have I missed one? Because Tava's on the pitch, but it was Roof taking the pens.
I know. I don't. It's the first, during the game, it's the first time Roof's took one. He did take one in the penalty shoot, I think, against St Johnstone in the base. He's your man from goal.
I'll keep him on penalties.
Aye.
For me, I mean, obviously Tav for years was you would trust Tavernier, but now you'd be shitting yourself with Tav taking a penalty.
Do you know what, man? I'm old school, man. I like to see my striker take a penalty.
Exactly.
Aye, absolutely.
That's all played out now. to take it. That's bye.
Yeah.
He'll just score the fucking worldies, man.
Correct.
Well, I mean, is that going to be goal of the season for Rangers? It's going to take a tough goal to beat that. I mean, the dip he got on that was incredible. I don't know how he hit that.
Did he mean to take a shot?
Aye.
Definitely it was meant, but the dip, how did he get the dip on that shot? It was incredible.
It was, you see him looking up, man. He gets the ball, Kent gives him the ball, and you see him looking up, Grado. He's hitting that. He means every bit of it, and it's
absolutely, yeah.
Xander Clarkson, he's a quality keeper. I'd say he's up there one of the best keepers in this league. But he had no chance.
No chance. No keeper in the world has a chance at that one.
I'm thinking before that, when Roof takes the pen, in my head, I'm saying that's where Tav's at a wee bit mentally. The new Hank. So that goal will do him the fucking world of good, man. That'll do him the world of good.
I know I'm jumping ahead here and all, but you could be right, by the way, the stuff we talk, because I found it very interesting. I know that Gerrard was giving it he's the best right back in Scotland. I'm just wondering whether that's been said. I mean, I do agree that I do think that Gerrard probably does think that, but I don't know, there was a reason. Must have been a reason why he said that. Don't know whether the stress. Know that Patterson's knocking on his door, stressing him out, but it could be he could be short of confidence.
Mate, see the thing is, man, this can only go on so long. We're going to find a way a Tav and Patterson maybe playing in the same team, because the boy's too good to just keep going. This boy's got something. He needs to start playing as well. But you can't drop Tav. That's our captain. But there's going to need to be a way where you play the two of them at some point.
Yeah, I don't know how you fit them both in, right enough. Talking about mentality, you just mentioned kind of there. Morelos obviously getting involved in the penalty incident. Liam Craig, I think, took advantage of his reputation, trying to get him sent off and stuff.
That was disgusting.
Yeah. Liam Craig lives round the corner for me, and he's a lovely guy.
Mate, can you do a Kev the Chef and give a wee tour and just go round? Mate, I swear to God, ask him to come on Football Daft. I would love to ask him, Liam, have you watched the game back? And I bet you he says no. And I'd love him to see when he goes, it's outrageously embarrassing, man. It's a fucking joke. He should get sent off for that. See that?
What did he do?
Mate, he's having an argument with Roof for a start. He's doing the classic, getting in Roof's way. Roof's wanting the ball back, so he scored the penalty, took it away. So he gets in his way. As soon as Morelos comes there, Morelos goes to point at him. He goes down like a fucking girl. Honestly, it does me nothing. It's so bad. See, if a Rangers player had done that, I'd say they deserve a red as well, because that's terrible, man. It's so bad. And then that fucking big fucking Sean Rooney, I know, the way he's screaming in Morelos' face. And you're going, mate, go and scream in your mate and tell him to slow back to like a fucking house.
I know why Morelos shouldn't be getting involved.
He shouldn't get involved.
He shouldn't get involved.
Because
he runs to this because players know his mentality. I mean, but in saying that though, you know, maybe in seasons gone past, Stephen, Morelos gets more involved than that. It seems like there is maybe a shift in his mentality.
Mate, did you see Morelos when Rooney's nearly fucking busting a blood vessel, screaming at him? He's standing laughing at him. Yeah. He's laughing at him, and you're going, the guy, Liam Craig, is just actually like Scott Brown at Parkhead a few years ago. He's not even with Scott Brown.
Takes a bump big time.
There was a bit of contact, but he took advantage of it. But this Liam Craig, he couldn't even be savvy enough to make it look believable. It was so embarrassing. You need to watch it back.
I'm looking at it right now, man.
All the wrestling chats coming out.
Fucking hell, man.
Brilliant.
It's like just watching it now, it's like that's like the way you see how when I would maybe show you how to take a punch in the wrestling, Bob. That's exactly what you would do.
Mate, that's where I went down when Ravy Davey went for me in the ring.
Exactly.
In the garage, man.
There you go. I want to come back to Stephen. You mentioned at the start, I mean, Rangers weren't at their best in the game. Are you worried that they're not... It seems that Rangers this season, it's been spells and they've not had that consistent 90 minutes that you maybe want to see. It seems like they're coming good in spells. I mean, like going back to what Grado was saying, it's good enough to win the game. It's getting you the 3 points on the board. But are you slightly worried about that going forward?
I'm still a bit worried the way they're still quite a few players that look like they're lacking a bit of confidence. Kent, major.
Kent, I was going to say Kent's one. I was going to say Aribo, however, on the other hand, has been a really bright spot for you. Again, I thought him and Bassey, particularly, I think have been two of your best players this season so far.
Definitely, man. But like you hit the nail on the head, John. We do need to start. We need to put a 90-minute performance together because you can't. As much as I said to Grado, I would take that every week. You're not going to get that every week because you're going to eventually get fun out. A team's going to turn you out because you've no turned up to races. We've seen it at Tannadice. We won up for the battle. We lost the game. You can't keep doing what we're doing. You're giving yourself too much work today, man. But it is character as well. That when you go a goal down at McDermott Park, especially going a goal down and he's sent off and you still win the game, it was a wee bit satisfying as well, but we still need to fucking up the performance levels a wee bit.
Yeah. Let's go to the Rangers Daft rated for the week. I'll just ask you, Steve, because Grado, well, you can just pick someone at random, Grado. Rangers Daft rated for this week.
You asking me or Grado?
You, Stephen, because
I'll go. See, just for that goal, Tav. I'll go Tav for that goal.
Grado, do you want to agree?
I don't know. I'm just because I'm watching the highlights back a wee bit here. I'm going for Kamar Roof.
Right, okay, Kamar Roof. And Rangers Dafty, Stephen.
I will go maybe McLaughlin for charging out like a madman for that booking.
Right. Grado.
But the biggest Dafty of the fucking week's Liam Craig.
Right.
Did Kent not play well?
No, he was shocking.
Right, I'll go for Kent. I can't really say anything about McLaughlin. That's not nice. He's a goalie, man.
Goalkeepers union and all that.
Goalies union.
There you go. Rangers manager after the match, Steven Gerrard, came out and said, "We're champions for a reason. We've got good players, but we also know how to win. We've had to go late and deep to find a way against Celtic. We've had to do the same today. That's what gets you there in the end." And it just comes back to what Grado was saying. That is what gets you over the line.
I thought you said Steven Gerrard said that in the interview.
No, I didn't say. I did go. No, Grado. I did go. I'll speak to Grado, and he says this is what.
He's right, but it's one of the games I think you could look back at the end of the season and go, "Mind, we went there, man, and fucking we were 1-0 down and 1-2-1." It's got that smell.
Yes.
That smell.
Motherwell-esque from last year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love the way that. Sorry, go back to that documentary, but I love the way they focused on that game last year. It
was brilliant, mate, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
It was superb.
Brilliant.
John, you need to watch it. I'll give him a login.
I love the way David Edgar says he's trying to keep his composure because he's in the press box bit and he's doing his bit, but even he couldn't help getting up when fucking Roof scored that second goal.
That was brilliant, man. I didn't know that was just before Christmas Day. What a gift. Anyway.
Let's move on to some Rangers news then. We mentioned obviously Hollander went off there and Steven Gerrard's come out and basically said it's not looking good for him, which is a big blow obviously ahead of the Europa League game because it doesn't look like Connor Goldson's going to be available for it.
I think you're going to have to play Bassey and Balogun centre back.
Yeah, well, obviously as well, Jack Simpson's not part of the squad for the Europa League, so it means that I think you're going to have to go Bassey and Balogun in at the back. Stephen, is that a big worry for you?
Of course, mate. You can't play in the Europa League against good teams and have your best players out. It's hard. And Hollander and Goldson are two sound defenders. You're going to be up against Dembele, who we all know what he's like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Bassey would fancy the physical battle with him anyway. I wouldn't worry that side, but is Bassey the centre half? I know he's played there, but I don't know. It's a major blow because I think I'm sick and tired of so many people that going about Hollander. He's too slow. He's this, he's that. His positional sense, everything. He's the most natural defender we've got, right? He's fucking. I know I used to do it. I know
exactly.
I know. But mate, I done it in the beginning, right?
I know you did.
But people are still saying it now, and seeing now, people are going to see how good a defender he is when he's not there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Goldson, fucking Mr. Consistency every game. I can't miss that game. Fucking never. It's going to be that has an impact on the team probably as well. Do you know what I mean? You're going a guy who's there all the time. So John, to answer your question, yes, I'm worried.
More worrying ahead of the game is that Yanis Hadji isn't going to be available as well. It looks like he's got a private jet back to Romania after the international break there. It could to cut it from 20 days to 14 days, but I think he's contracted the COVID, and he says his dad came out, Big Georgie came out and said he's feeling fine and he's currently undergoing treatment. So I don't know. They're thinking Livingston. He'll be back for the Livingston game.
See, this is the thing, man. Right? It's not. We shouldn't be surprised the way we can't string 90 minutes together, because we can't string a team together. We've had such a disjointed, disrupted start to the season, and it's an absolute credit that we're top of the league.
I know it's
but Hadji's a big miss in European nights, isn't he? He's a kind of he's who you look to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be with, I think, any football team, doesn't matter if it's Rangers, Celtic, Falkirk, whoever it is. I mean, this, because of COVID, it's just going to be like this. And you've got
it's not going anywhere, John.
It's no going anywhere, Grado. You're right, it's not going anywhere.
Do you know what, John? We'll not make excuses about it, but we'll just go on it.
And final bit of news is that Everton are going to apparently come back in January for Nathan Patterson, looking at 10 million to match the Rangers asking price. Again, going back to Stephen, you know, you've got Tav there. Do you cash in at this point, or do you try and get that value up?
No comment.
I think he'll go. I think they'll sell Patterson. Do you know that? I've just got a feeling.
I mean, if you can't squeeze him into the side and you've got Tav doing the business, I mean, that is now the time to just kind of take the 10 million.
Yep, it's exactly what we done with Hutton all the years ago as well. Who, you know, had that shit hot 6 months. Obviously, do we think Patterson's a better player than Hutton all round?
No comment.
I would say so.
I would say he's up there. So
it'll break my heart to see him go, man. I want to see a young boy coming through doing well for us, but I'm no daft. It's a business.
Realistic.
If you're getting 10 million plus for a player who is hardly really, let's be honest, kicked a ball for us, and I don't mean that in a bad sense. Like, he's played well for us when he has played, but the boys get bags of potential. But I just don't want to see him go. I don't want to see him.
But you also got to remember as well, it looks good in the club as well that it's a product to us, a product to Rangers. So it looks good. Put
it this way: if you've got a deal, which would, you know, we've been told that, you know, something's going to have to give it Rangers, would you rather see someone like Morelos go or Patterson go?
Patterson.
Oh, that's.
Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't be with it, Freddie.
Yes, I mean.
I break my heart, man. I thought about it sometimes. Just imagine Alfredo in another t-shirt. It would break my heart, wouldn't it?
That wee frame he's got and the wee smile, and
I know. I just love him.
I love him as well, man.
Let's move on then to the European game this Thursday, boys. Heading over to Lyon, who had a 3-1 win over Strasbourg there at the weekend. Now, obviously, there's a wee bit extra in the game. Dembele's obviously playing for Lyon, and also Jason Denayer, who both scored there at the weekend. Worried about Big Musa coming back to haunt yous?
I would say so. I did no tweet about it as well.
I think he did.
No, Bob, come on.
He fucking, of course I'm worried. He's a
quality.
Come on. But it's like, I played for Celtic on Twitter fucking 24/7 trying to wind up Rangers and that. I am worried. He's a fucking cracking player, but we'll take care of him.
Well, there you go. I'm just looking over the stats for Lyon. Personally, 21 goals in the last 6 games for Lyon. They're averaging about 3.5 goals a game.
Dembele scored 21 goals.
No. The team have scored 21 goals in the last 6 games, so there's no short of goals coming from them.
No, they're in a good place to do, man. I think, in there.
Well, the Strasbourg manager basically, I think they go after the European game. They go to PSG, and the Strasbourg manager was basically saying, "I think they can get something at PSG," which is no mean feats, as we know. So looking like they're a team in form at the moment, boys. What do you... I mean, I'm assuming a draw is a worldie of a result. You would take that straight away.
I would take a draw. But under the circumstances with the players missing, the form we've had with kind of start to the season, I would take a draw right now. Aye.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Under the lights at Ibrox in the European night, though, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And then after Lyon, I'll get what your score going to be for the Lyon game then?
2 each.
3-0.
3-0 Lyon or 3-0 Rangers, Grado?
Rangers, 3-0 Rangers.
There we go. We'll wait and see if that happens. And then...
we beat... did we not beat them 2-0 in a friendly last 2 years ago? We beat them
It started the season, didn't it? We won the trophy, didn't we, at the start of last season?
We've got a good record against Lyon.
Well, listen, Grado, next week we'll see what the score is. And then at the weekend there, you've got Motherwell.
It's Flag Day.
And it's Flag Day at
I'm taking my son, taking Leo.
Oh, lovely.
Brilliant.
Lovely. Is that going to be his first Rangers game, Stephen?
Oh.
No. But so Flag Day at Ibrox, Motherwell in decent form, and have started off the season pretty well. 3 wins out of 5 for them.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Crofty's told me Motherwell are on fire. He's been sending me on it. Tony Watt's been playing well. You've had, would you call him Kevin van der Veem or whatever? He's looking
He looks
good.
like a right good player, the boy.
It's going to be a difficult game, by the way.
But especially when we've not got Itten.
Aye. But I think we'll still beat them. Still beat them. But I can see it. But again, no, I think the Rangers could have been right up for it. But on Saturday, because of the Flag Day and stuff like that, that'll play a big part.
Looking over the last 5 matches with Motherwell, 4 wins for Rangers, just a draw for Motherwell over the 5 matches, and the draw was the 1-1 at Fir Park back in January 21. It was January last year, actually. Or this year.
Was it not January this year?
January this year.
That seems like a lifetime ago.
January this year was the 1-1 draw at Fir Park. So predictions for that game, boys?
I think that'll be a quite... I don't think it'll be very straightforward. I'll say 2-0.
I'll say 2-0 actually, aye.
2-0, no reply from Motherwell here. Like you say, Tony Watt and the boy Devine up front look like they'll be okay. So, but 2-0 all round then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good result for them against Aberdeen at the weekend.
Was it? Very good. Aberdeen have been started pretty... I mean, they started, everyone was going, oh, Aberdeen look good, and then they've just kind of fallen away.
Absolutely stinking, man. Past few weeks.
Yeah. So see how that goes. So there we go. Wins all around for Rangers. And that is it for Rangers Daft for this week, guys. Remember, if you want to be a guest pundit next week on the show, do it by signing up at patreon.com/football daft, where you'll get lots of extra content right up there now. You'll get teammates with Connie McLaughlin, who we've had loads of great feedback on the interview. You can get that on the channel right now, where Football Daft meets Connie McLaughlin, who you'll see in BT Sport, Sky Sports. She's on Radio 5 Live. So you can get the interview with Connie. Really, really interesting. All the behavioural stuff that she did with teams like Falkirk and unnamed teams down south. Did you know who she was talking about? I'm intrigued to find out who she was.
I tried to work it, but it was hard to really figure out, mate. It was.
I know. So you can hear that on the channel right now. And if you want to hear what the other side are saying to Celtic Daft with Ryan and Chris, will be up in the next wee bit as well. We'll be back with Chris, of course, on the Headline Show this Friday. And remember, vote on your favourite swanky moment, which you can do with El Dorado.
How's that looking?
At the moment, Leo Purden's Clyde debut is storming ahead.
Oh,
I was going to listen. They're going to always vote for the Vane. Though, Lennon Miller, Lee Miller's son, scored a worldie for Scotland under 17s, and that's doing quite well as well.
It's quite tight, man. It's between Leo Purden's Clyde debut and John McGinn's arse.
Is John McGinn's arse coming into it now?
John McGinn's arse is in 26%. Leo's Clyde debut is in 38%.
What What about my 9/11
Your
documentaries?
documentaries is 19% and Lennon Miller's goal 17%.
Oh, really? It's for 9/11.
It's between my boy and John McGinn's Arsenal.
So get voting on that right now on the Football Daft Twitter. Boys, thank you very much for joining me as always. Continue to subscribe, rate and review Football Daft on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time,
We are
the people.
Audio Frontier.